Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel and the FPV coffee break. Well, it's a bit of a cheat one really, because I've just been out flying and I usually do these on days when I can't go flying. But the weather's all changing again tomorrow, so it's going to be miserable and wet and rainy for a few days, so I thought I'd just get out for half an hour. Literally it was only half an hour, but just keep your thumbs working. Right, got a few topics to talk over today. Tell you what happened with my FPV goggles that I repaired the other day, showed you, and the module. Talk about the new drone laws that are coming out soon, and something to do with the Hellgate buzzer, and anything else I can think of, but I won't drag it on too long. Right, to start with though, I've been asked, do I use video editing to make my videos look better? Well, I can categorically say no. I have never used video editing ever, and I never would. Everything you see is real. I simply, okay, I'm joking. Yeah, of course I do. I cut from scene to scene, everybody does. Yeah, so yes, I do. But the question as well was, what video editor do I use? Well, if I'm just doing a bog standard video, I use that Windows Movie Maker Lab thing. Right, a bit awkward to get on Windows 10. You have to jump through a few hoops to get it, but you can get it. And if I'm just doing something basic, I'll just use Windows Movie Maker 10. And if I want to add effects or videos or photographs or sometimes in my vlogs, then I use VSDC, which is a free video editor. You can upgrade to the pro version, which is not that expensive, but for the extra stuff you get in with a pro, it's not stuff I would use, so I just stick with the free version, the VSDC link here. I used to use Sony Vegas Pro, but to be honest, it's not that it's complicated, Sony Vegas Pro. Right? If you take your time and learn it like anything, it's just that you have to mess about a lot to do something simple, so I stopped using that. Oh, excuse me. Right, I'll move on to my FPV goggles. I know this is the coffee break, but I ain't got a coffee. I've actually run out of coffee, so I'm back on the water again. I'm lying to you all the time. I keep saying coffee break. Anyhow, my FPV goggles. If you remember, I had a problem. I posted a video. This module here split because when I was connecting up a patch, not this one, I'd over tightened it. Completely and utterly my fault. I'll leave a link just here if you want to watch the video. Now it's a long one, I'll tell you right now, it's a long video, it's almost an hour, right, because I've tried to put a lot of information in it for new pilots who's never done anything like that, let alone, because what I had to do was crack these open, take out the module, resolder part of the connector back in and put it back in again, and if you've never done anything like that, it's going to be daunting. So it's a long video and I almost repeat myself a lot on it, but deliberately, so that any new pilots, and I'm not being condescending saying I know more than you, it's a case of if you don't know, it's best if somebody is explaining something to you, explain it very simply. That's what I always say. If somebody's telling me something, I say, wait, slow down down, just tell me like I'm a kid, explain it simple. You know what I mean? Like when doctors are telling you stuff, you say, excuse me, layman, you know what I mean? Simple English, please. Yeah, so the video does go on a bit, but the bottom line is it worked. However, it worked with a bit of a downside. It's working again, but because it was a patch and not a replacement, alright, like a band-aid as I described it, you're getting a tiny bit of interference which I wasn't getting. Alright, but nothing I can't fly with. Like I say, I've just been out flying today with it, so it's not that bad, you know what I mean? But ideally I want to get a new module, but I can't bloody find it. It's getting annoying. Alright, so what I may have to do is crack these back open again and remove that module completely and just use this one, because that's a good thing. They come with diversity and one will work without the other, because this one was working for ages before I got round to actually, well, I say ages, ages as in during the day. I busted it when I was out, but I still flew for about another 5 or 6 more packs before I actually finished, so I know it works by itself. There you go. But yeah, so it does work, the fix worked, but it's not perfect. I would prefer to get a new module to put in. I'm still looking. I'm going to send off a few more emails to different places and see if I get any joy. Right then, that's that sorted and done with. Any questions or out like that, as I said, just leave comments. Now, well, we've had a change of scenery. While I was making the video, basically doorbell went to the doorbell, started gabbing, sorting something out, then I had to do something else, so I turned the camera off, and then one thing led to another, and it's 48 hours later. And I'm finishing this off in here because it's a bit more of a brighter room and it's a dull, miserable day today. Alright, so I thought I'll finish it off in here. So that's why we've had a quick little jump cut and I've had a shave and shaved my head a bit more again. Yeah, so a different person altogether. Right, here we go then. I want to move on to the drone laws, which, oh, the UK drone laws. So if you don't live in the UK, this ain't going to apply to you. You've got your own problems. We've got ours now. Right, you may have heard, you may not have heard. I'll skip over quickly and then I'll give you my opinion, which is basically what a lot of crap. You know what I mean? Pathetic. Trying to stop criminals by registering. But anyhow, in 19 months, which I think is round about the end of November 2019, 2 laws are coming out. One, you're going to have to register your drone, right? Which I hate that word drone. I mean, they're thinking about drones. Oh, a drone, it's flying 500 feet, 600 feet in the air, it's going 3 miles out and stuff like that, right? Well, they're also classing that word, right, with little quadcopters, mini quads. I don't mean the tiny little things, but mini quads and planes as well, the little model planes that you fly around in parks and stuff. I'm not talking about the big stuff that goes to air shows and stuff like that. I'm talking about the model planes that we all build and fly and stuff. And I hate it when they put the word drone with everything, right? I mean, I was a class 1 heavy goods lorry driver. I had to take a separate test for my class 1 than what I did with my car, yet it's still a vehicle. The insurance was different, everything was bloody different. But, and so were the rules. And that's the important bit. The rules of driving a truck are completely different to the rules of driving a car, as in speed limits and stuff. So it should be different. It should be different. And I'm not knocking people who own Phantoms and stuff like that. Well, I used to own a Phantom, right? Check my playlist. I've flown out to sea and all over the bleeding place. Right, but what I'm saying is, you can't compare something that's got GPS and can basically fly all by itself, set a program, take it and put the transmitter down on the floor and it'll take off, do a circuit, whatever, come back and land. Compare that to a mini quad, right, that you're in full control of constantly. You take your hand off that thing, it's falling to the floor and smashing into bits. It's apples and oranges. But anyhow, that's my opinion. It should be different information, different rules and regulations. But I digress. End of November, you're going to have to, 2019, you're going to have to register. Now, I'm not sure yet, right, they haven't let this out. If you have to register as a pilot or register each and every one of your models, which will be a nightmare for some people, because I know some people have got hundreds of different things. Alright, so if you have to register each and every one, and let's say they charge you a few quid for each and every one, which they might, now the government money, let's be honest, all this is about money, right, that's all it's about. It's not about keeping people safe, right, and stopping criminals, because let's be honest, bleeding hell, if you think registration is going to stop criminals, you're a bleeding idiot, whoever you are. If you actually, because the criminals won't register, it's obvious. I mean, what are you going to do? Put a tax on drug dealers and see a big line of drug dealers outside the tax office waiting to pay the tax. Oh, I sold £50 of crack last week. How much do I owe on tax? Nah. Right? Criminals aren't going to register the quads, right, or the planes or whatever. They're not going to. So the registration is a joke, right? Another thing they're doing for end of November 2019, this is these two things. You're going to have to take an online test, a competency test, to see if you know, which will be like, the questions will be along the lines of what's already out now. You're not allowed to fly above 400 feet. And why? Because commercial vehicles can't fly below 500 feet. And then there's a 100 feet buffer zone. And whatever the questions are though, it's an online test. So anyone could be taking it. Not necessarily, I mean, I could get my brother to take it for me. Or if he well, my brother's not a pilot, you know what I mean? He's had a go, but he don't really like it. But let's say he decides to go out and buy a Phantom or something like that, right? And he says, oh, I've got this online test, but I don't know anything. I could just go take it for him. No one's going to know that I'm taking the test for him because it's online, right? And I'll give it 48 hours of that test coming out. I reckon all the answers will be on bloody YouTube anyhow. So taking a test, an online test, is a complete joke. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, 99% of the rules and information and stuff don't even apply to a mini quad. I'm not flying my mini quad 400 feet in the air. I'm not flying my mini quad freaking 200 feet in the air. And I'm not going out a line of sight or miles away or out like that. So, it's crazy. Right, that's what's happening end of November, right? Craziness. Now, what's coming in the next couple of weeks, right? Which is fine, but you're not going to be allowed to fly above 400 feet. Well, that's already a ruling. If you check the CAA, Civil Aviation Authority, right? That's been like that for bloody ages, but now they're making it a law where you can be prosecuted and sent to prison and fined whatever. And I say whatever because you could be fined anything, literally. I mean, it's crazy that you could be fined anything. No set fines, no nothing. You could be fined anything. But yeah, so you're not going to be allowed to fly above 400 feet, which is fine. When I had my Phantom, right, my DJI Phantom thing, I never flew above 300 feet anyhow, because when you want to get the scenery shots, right, the higher you get, everything just becomes a speck, right? So the 400 feet is fine. That's perfectly fine. Plus it's safe because, like I just said earlier, commercial vehicles, by law, they're not allowed to fly below 500 feet unless they're taking off and landing, obviously. But yeah, they're not allowed to fly below 500 feet. But I know damn well they do in certain areas. I've been out in the middle of nowhere and seen planes buzz me. But anyhow, that's not the point. But yeah, so 400 feet maximum height, that comes into effect within a couple of weeks or so. Plus you're not going to be able to fly over an airport or anything. I mean, let's be honest, they're making it law, you're not going to be able to fly over an airport. Now that comes out in a couple of weeks. So does that mean if that law starts in a couple of weeks, I can go fly over an airport today? No. No, it's illegal already. You can't fly over airports and stuff and whatever, but you have to stay a distance of 1 kilometre from an airport. Now to me, that's not enough, personally. I think it should be at least 2 miles away from any airport. Right? But they've said 1 kilometre, so that's what they want to do. Them two things are coming out in the next couple of months, which is fine. Keep away from airports. Common sense, let's be honest. If you're flying over airports, right, if I ever see anybody catch anyone flying over an airport, I'll report them straight away. I'll get on the phone to the police. I don't give a shit. I'm not a grass or out like that. As a person, I'm not a grass. But if I see somebody flying a quad or something over an airport, I will grass them up. Right, and I hope every other pilot on the planet does the same thing. Right, because it only takes one. Right, one right? And then this hobby will get banned. So if you do see anyone flying over airports, grass them up. They deserve to be grassed up. Yeah, so what was the next thing? Oh yeah, registration. Now, like I said, you're going to have to register in a couple of years. You're going to have to take an online test in a couple of, well, 19 months. Right? In the next 2 weeks, we're getting the 400 feet maximum, and you have to stay 1k away from any airports. At the moment, that's all they've said, and that's all coming in, which all seems fine and dandy. But like I say, the registration is a joke, right? Because if you're a criminal, you're not going to register anyhow. Plus, how are they going to police that? Right? If a quad crashes into a car or something like that, right, or causes an accident, right, but shall we say the quad escapes and the guy or lady who was flying the quad goes home, how are they going to know who it was that was flying the quad? Right? Because sometimes I go about 20 miles away from where I live to fly, and then sometimes I'm outside my front door, so to speak. Right? So no one's going to know. Plus, not to mention, I feel sorry for the police here. But the police are bloody fuming. Right? Because what's going to happen? Every time you see somebody in a park, officer, you have to go and ask them if they've registered and stuff. And you have to check all their details every single time you see somebody. The police have got better things to do. Oh, there's a kid over there. He's only 12, but he's flying his little quadcopter or his little park flyer plane or something. Right, let's go and ask him. Let's fill out all the paperwork. Do you have your information with you? No, I don't carry it. It'll be a nightmare for the police as well. Trying to, I mean, I bet the coppers are happy about it. Right. Plus, I'm not being funny. Right, I've never seen a copper where places. I've been all over the place. I've never seen a copper once where I go flying. So how they're going to enforce it, I don't know. Unless the government's going to get off their asses, blast into the police force, unlimited funds for the police, and then the police will be happy and able to get on with their job and get everything sorted out. Anyway, I'm getting off story here. I'm waffling a bit now. But if anyone actually thinks registering is going to stop criminal activity, it's a joke, because registration will not stop criminal activity at all, ever. Because if you're a criminal, you're just not going to bloody register. And if you get caught, that's part of the job of being a criminal. If you get caught, you get caught. That's part of the job, isn't it? I'll tell you what, if you want my advice, scrap all them rules. Keep the 400 feet and keep the away from airports and stuff. That's great, that's fine. Right, forget the registration though, right? And forget the online exam. They're both a joke. My advice would be, make it that you have to have insurance. It's simple. I mean, as a member of the British Model Flying Association, I have insurance, right? And just make it that every time somebody goes to buy a new quad, a new Phantom or whatever, you have to either produce insurance before you can buy the thing, right? Prove that you're insured. Right, like you would a car. Same as that, you can't just go into a car showroom, buy a car and drive off, right, and hope you've got insurance. Well, I suppose you can technically, but if you get stopped, you're going to be nicked. Sell insurance with the models, and don't rip people off. Just whatever it is you're buying, right, just say 20 quid or 30 quid insurance or whatever. I'm sure the insurance companies can figure something out. There's already insurance companies out there selling insurance for quads, but make it the law. Right, forget the registration, forget everything. You have to have insurance. It's as simple as that. You just have to have insurance. Right? And if you're thinking about, oh, well, I don't want to, I'm worried about this and that. If you live in Britain, join the British Model Flying Association, click on it, pay I think it's about £35. I can't remember off the top of my head now. Right, but you get insurance, right, and you're covered for thousands of pounds. But yeah, just make it law that you have to have insurance. It's that's the best thing. And if a copper approaches you and says, do you have insurance, right, you produce your card, and if you don't, they give you, say, for argument's sake, a week, like a driving licence thing, right, produce your licence at the local station. If you don't produce a valid insurance, you're fined. right, and make it a big fine, say £2,000, £2,000, but I was only flying around the park officer, it don't matter, no insurance, right, one-off fine, £2,000, that's it, you didn't have insurance, and that will cut down on a lot of the idiots who are like flying over schools and stuff like that. Right, just make sure you've got insurance. Simples. Right, well that's my opinion anyhow. It's probably not the best idea, right? Probably a lot of people will disagree with it, but whatever. But right, moving on to something else now. I've talked about the Halo buzzer. Halo buzzer, no such thing. The Hellgate buzzer I got from Halo. Alright, I've done a couple of reviews on it, well, a review and a follow-up and stuff. I really like it, right? But it's a bit pricey, but when you compare it to how much your quads are, it's one of them things. But in my links I put the only place in the UK that sold them was Halo, right? Well, I got back in touch with Halo, right, because they was out of stock. Basically asked them, do you know when you're going to have stock back in, because I want another one. Well, I was sent an email which shocked me a bit. Yeah, Halo got back in touch with me, sent me an email, and I'll tell you what, I'll just put it up, a quick flash, right? I'll put it up so you can have a quick, well, you can pause it and read it at your leisure. Right, here we go now. Right, there you go then. You've had a quick look at it, right, like I say, pause it, read it if you're a slow reader, like me. But the gist of it, Halo aren't getting any more of the Hellgate FPV buzzers in because Hellgate have got bleeding greedy, haven't they? They've turned round and said you have to buy at least £8,000 worth of stock offers, right? And considering the buzzers are about 24 quid to buy, right, the Halo, I don't blame them, by the way, they could end up having stock for a couple of years, and when you're a company, you don't want your shelves piled up with the same stock for years and years and months, you want your stock in, your stock out, reordering, and you want to be turning, unless you've got a huge factory, right, which I don't think Halo has. But the thing is, for a Hellgate FPV to turn around and say the minimum order we're going to send you is £8,000 worth, something like that, right? It's disgusting, right? And now that's the only company in the UK that was selling them. So if you want them, right, you're going to have to order from somewhere like Rotor Riot sell them, right? But basically you're going to have to order from out of town, the States somewhere, right? And we're going to get ripped on the shipping, as we always do when we order stuff from the States. Now I'm not picking on the American people, I love the American people, I love the USA, right? You got a problem with your government at the moment, but that's a different story altogether. Big smile, no hair. Anyway, yeah, but no, I love the American people, so I'm not picking on the American people. But I'm picking on the shipping costs it costs to get over here. But if you order something from bloody China, it's free shipping, you know, bang good. Don't know how they manage it when you can't in America. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Long live the USA and Canada. Right, I forgot where I was now. Yeah, basically, so you will not be able to get the Hellgate FPV buzzer from Halo anymore. Right, they're not going to get it in at that price, and I don't blame them at all. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, that's me FPV coffee break part 5, I think. I'll have to check. But yeah, sorry about the quick swap round, but like I say, somebody at the door, things to do. A couple of days later, a bit brighter in this room today because it's bleeding miserable out there. But luckily I've got a few backup videos to post. In fact, I posted one this morning, right, Flight to the Moon, which is part black and white, slow motion, talking about the moon landing and the race for space type thing back in the 50s. No, back in the 60s. Bloody hell, I should know. Yeah, back in the 60s. But anyway, yeah, I posted a video today, and I always try and keep a few in reserve for posting when the weather's terrible and you can't get out. So that's me FPV coffee break today. I've had my whinge, I've explained about my goggles. Well, not today, I didn't, a couple of days ago I did that. And like I said, I've talked about the drone laws, and the drone laws. I don't know how they think that's going to stop criminals. Anyhow, I'm not going back there again. So yeah, we've covered what I wanted to cover. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please give us a thumbs up. Right? If you really liked it, I mean, really thought this was interesting, subscribe. Go on, subscribe. I post stuff all the bleeding time. There's bound to be something else you like. Click the little bell and subscribe. Go on, you know you bloody want to, so just do it. Why won't you subscribe? I'm a nice person. I am a nice person, so bleeding subscribe. Freaking off. Two this time. Crazy man. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, thanks for watching, and here comes the alien in space. The FPV alien in space.